It must be in Learnity, na? You have to see the Learnity website. Then only you can get the homework. Okay. Okay, so first we'll discuss something about motion and gravity, then we'll do the problem which I have given to you. Okay, fine. So motion and gravity, I think I have introduced something about motion and gravity. That this motion and gravity, okay, it is the acceleration due to gravity. Fine. We'll discuss the sum today. Okay, first we'll discuss something about gravity, motion and gravity. Then we'll do that. Okay, fine. Test question this week is motion in a straight line. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll discuss homework problem. For now, you just understand this. Okay, full chapter, yes, full chapter. Okay. So motion and gravity, I told you that it is a the motion and gravity means if the body is thrown from upward, okay, then the body is attracted towards the earth, okay, with a constant acceleration g, whose value is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So I told you that the motion and the gravity can be can be taken as constant acceleration. Okay, constant acceleration up to which height? Constant acceleration up to 10 kilometers. Beyond that, the g will change. But in our problem, we will make sure that it will be below the 10 kilometers only. Okay, so we don't have to consider that point when it is above the 10 kilometers. Okay, fine. So constant acceleration up to 10 kilometers. The value of g is how much? The value of the g is 9.8 meter per second square. Now, if it is a constant acceleration type, then we can use the equation of motions there, because equations of motions are only valid for what? They are valid for constant acceleration only. So we have three equations of motion. First is v equal to u plus at. Second is what? S equal to, S is the displacement here, S equal to ut plus half at square. And the last one is what? S equal to v square minus u square by 2 into a. These are the equations of motion. Okay, these are the equations of motion which are under constant acceleration. Okay, fine. Now if we have to write the equation of motion in a in the gravitational motion. Now in this case, one thing you have to understand that the gravitational motion will always be vertical motion. The gravitational motion will always be vertical motion. Okay, fine. So when it is a vertical motion, then I told you that the upward is taken as positive, the upward is taken as positive, and downward is taken as negative. Okay, so if downward is taken as negative, okay, and g is always acting towards the ground, which means g should be negative. Okay, so in the when we are using motion the gravity concept, then the a will be equal to minus g. Okay, I think you understood why it is minus g, because the direction of acceleration is downward, and we take downward as negative. Okay, now if I write the equation of motion the gravity, then first equation will be what? V equal to u minus gt, where v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity. Fine, that is the first equation. Second equation would be what? S equal to ut minus half gt square. That is equation number second. And third equation will be S equal to v square minus u square by minus 2g. So these are the equation of motions which we will use when we are discussing about motion under gravity. Okay. Yes, always negative. That is what I'm telling you. The g value should always be taken as negative here. Whether you are throwing the object upward or downward, in both the case, a will be minus g only. Okay. We make a note that a will be minus g. Just make a small note here that the acceleration will be minus g always. Okay, even you throw upward, even the body thrown upward or downward, In both the cases, A should be always be minus G. Okay. It will always be downward, so it should be minus G only. Okay. Now next thing, is the maximum height achieved by the body. Okay. The maximum height achieved by the body. So okay, maximum height. Fine. Now let us take a condition here. Now one thing more. More you have to understand that. Let us suppose you are on the ground. Okay. You are on the ground. Fine. And you are throwing the object upward. You are throwing the object upward. The point where you are throwing the object is always taken as reference point. Okay. The point where you are throwing the object is always taken as reference point. So if you are throwing the object from this point, this will be your reference point. Okay. Now if the particle is moving upward, then reference point is positive. Means the above reference point we have taken positive. So above reference point is taken as positive. Below reference point is taken as negative. Understand? So you have to understand one thing here. The point where we are throwing the object, is always taken as reference point. The above will be positive, the below will be negative. Okay. No. See, one thing more. Whenever we are discussing about motion under gravity or motion under gravity, there we assume that there is no air resistance. Okay. Air resistance is absent there. Fine. So in this case, there will be no air resistance. Okay. Fine. So only one acceleration will be there, that is G. We don't have any other resistance, any other acceleration. Okay. Fine. So the point where you're throwing the object is taken as reference point. Above reference point is positive, below is negative. Okay. See, what I am explaining to you, you just understand that. Okay. Your point is correct. That's the body is moving downward, so A velocity is increasing. So why we are taking A as negative? Okay. I agree to your point, but whatever I'm telling you, just follow that thing. You will never make a mistake in this problem. Okay. Fine. Yes, origin you have to take reference point. The point where you're throwing the object is taken as reference point. Okay, fine. So just follow what I am telling you. You will not make a mistake in this problems. Okay, fine. So maximum height. Now let us suppose we have taken this condition here. Okay, just make a note of this one. No, G direction is always downward. The G will always downward. Whether you throw the object upward or downward, the G is always downward. That is why we have taken A as minus G. The G direction is always downward. Okay. So that is why when it is downward, its speed is decreasing when you are throwing upward. Okay. Fine. And when it is coming down, its speed is increasing. Okay. The point where we are throwing, okay, the point where we are throwing is taken as reference point. Okay. Not standing, the point where we are throwing the ball object. Basically, see if they are mentioning that we are throwing the object from the ground. So we have to take the reference point as ground only. Okay. Fine. So when we are throwing the object from the ground, see, so reference point is taken as ground. Okay, this reference point is taken as ground. Okay, ground is the reference point. Okay, fine. Okay, so see, let me explain something. Then you ask me the doubt. When I will tell you to ask the doubt, then you ask the doubt. Okay, don't interrupt in between. Fine. Okay. So the point where we are throwing the point object is the reference point. Fine. This is the reference point. Above is taken as positive, below is taken as negative. Fine. Now maximum height. Now just think on this point. If I throw the ball from the ground, when can you have the maximum height? When can you have the maximum height? Tell me. If I throw the object from the ground with the initial velocity u, then when can you have the maximum height? Yes. When the final velocity becomes zero. Is that correct or not? When the final velocity becomes zero. Correct. So When the final velocity becomes 0, then you have the maximum height. Now can you find the value of the maximum height? So which equation we can use here? We can use third equation, that s equal to v square minus u square by minus 2g. Now you have to very careful when you are using this equation. Now here s is what? Distance travel or displacement of the object? Tell me. S is the displacement or distance travel? Distance. No, it is displacement. Okay. It is the displacement of the object. Fine. Both are not same here. Okay. It is the displacement of the object. So can you tell me the displacement is positive or negative here? See, displacement is what? Initial position minus final position. Sorry, final position minus initial position. Final position is this one. Initial is this. Now when you take this reference point, this should be origin, which means you have to assume this at 0. Okay. So final position is h max. Final is h max. Final is h max. Initial is 0. So what is s here? S would be positive or not? S would be positive. Okay. So what is the value of s here? S will be h max. Fine. Now final velocity, when it reaches the maximum height, what is the final velocity? 0. So 0 square minus initial velocity is u. So u square. Now u is positive because we are throwing the object upward. So u will be positive here. Fine. Divided by minus 2g. I think you understand why we are putting minus here, because a is always taken as negative in this case. Okay. So what is the value of maximum height which we are getting? That would be equal to u square by 2g. That is the value of maximum height when you throw the object from ground. Okay. I hope you understand this maximum height. The value of maximum height will be equal to u square by 2g. Okay. Fine. See, the point where we are throwing the object, from the ground we are throwing the object. Okay. The point where we are throwing the object taken as reference point, the object is moving upward. So u should be positive because u direction is upward. G would be negative because G is always acting downward. Okay. So so when can you have the maximum height? When the final velocity is 0. So if you use the equation number third, we'll get the h max equal to u square by 2g. Okay. Now from ground. So we always assume from ground itself. Okay. Fine. Next is the time of the flight. Okay. Next is, now can you tell me how much time taken to reach the maximum height? Can you find that thing? Time taken to reach maximum height. So can you find this answer? Yes, it should be u by g. That is very simple because we can use equation number 1, that v equal to u plus at. Now when you are using in the gravity form, motion in the gravity form, we will use v equal to u minus gt. Correct now? When you are using the motion in the gravity, we will use v minus uh, uh, u minus gt. Now final velocity 0. U is taken as positive because we are throwing upward. Upward is positive. Direction of u is positive. So it should be plus u minus gt. So time will be equal to u by g. So time taken is u by g. Okay. See, you can do an experiment also, that when can you have the maximum height? You throw the ball upward. Okay. When the ball stop at some height, that is the maximum height which you are getting. You can do the experiment. You throw some object upward. Okay. When can you have the maximum height? When 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 the body stops. Okay. So that is why we've taken final velocity at 0. Okay. Fine. G is 9.8 only. I am just representing G here. Okay. Now, next thing, can you find the total time of the flight? Time of the flight. Time of flight, you understand? Time of flight is time taken to again come back to the same position. Time of flight. Time of flight. Can you find the time of the flight? The time taken by the particle to reach initial position. initial position. Can you find that answer? It is 2u by g. Very good. 2u by g. Very good. Okay. So see again. Let us draw the figure here. That we have thrown the object from the ground. Okay. We have thrown the object from the ground upward with the velocity u. Okay. Fine. Now, can I use this equation as equal to ut minus half gt square? Okay, as equal to ut minus half gt square. Can we use this formula or not? Okay, now if I use this formula, what is s? S is the displacement of the particle. So when you throw the object upward, okay, when you throw the object upward, it will go to some maximum height, h max, then it will come back to the initial position. Time of flight is basically the time taken by the particle to reach the initial position, which means when it comes back to the initial position, what is the displacement of the object? Zero. Yes, very good. The displacement would be zero. So if displacement is zero, initial velocity is upward, which is ut minus half gt square. So can I write here as what? Half gt square equal to ut. T get cancelled out. So total time of flight will be 2u by g. Okay. So time of flight would be 2u by g. Fine. Did you understand this or not? So whenever we are using this equation s equal to ut plus half at square, in that this s is a displacement of the particle. S is the displacement of the particle. Okay. I hope you understood this. How we are using these equations. Fine. Next. Any doubt you are having, can ask me. We can also use this, that time of ascent equal to time of descent. Time of ascent equal to time of descent only when there is no air resistance. Okay. When there is no air resistance. Understood? Basically what we are doing here is having no air resistance also. Okay. Fine. Any other doubts? See, if you are using the formula s equal to v square minus u square by minus 2g, final velocity is 0. So 0 square minus u square by minus 2g. So it will come as u square by 2g only. Not minus will not come. Okay. Ascent means the particle is moving upward. Ascent. Descent means coming downward. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. Next. Okay. Let us do some problems here. Okay. Write down a question here. I think you understand motion and gravity. So whatever I'm telling you, just you need to follow that thing only. Don't try to use your own concept. Okay. If you do, then you will make a mistake. Definitely you will make a mistake. Okay. So you don't try to use any other concepts. Okay. Fine. Now write down one more problem here. An object is thrown upward with the speed of 20 meter per second. An object is thrown upward with the speed of 20 meter per second. Okay. Find out the time at which. Find out the time at which the particle cross 15 meter. Means at which the object cross 15 meter. Crosses 15 meter. Okay. Find out the time at which the object crosses 15 meter. Okay. Can you do this problem now? An object is thrown upward with the speed of 20 meter per second. Find out the time at which the object crosses 15 meter. Okay, find out the time when the object crosses 15 meters. Less than a second. No, no, you will get the exact answer. 1 and 3 seconds. Very good. Answer is 1 and 3 seconds. Okay, see, if you do this problem now, see, we are throwing, first of all, you have to draw the figure. That is the very most important point. You have to draw the figure first of all. Okay, fine. If you draw the figure here, first of all, the object is thrown upward with 20 meter per second. Okay, there is certain height. The height is 15 meters. Say 15 meters. This is the 15-meter height. Okay, find the time when this object will cross the 15-meter height. Okay, so what actually we have data is given to us. The displacement s is given to us, that is 15 meters. Okay, initial velocity is given to us, that is 20 meter plus 20 meter per second. Okay, now can I use this equation? S equal to ut minus half gt square, because displacement is given to us, initial velocity is given to us. So displacement is 15, initial velocity is how much? 20 into t minus half into 10 into t square. Okay, so we'll get 15 equal to 20t minus 5t square. We can also write like this: 5t 5 we can take, we can divide by 5, so we get t square minus 4t plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, if you will solve, you will get time equal to 1 second and 3 seconds, which means what? Can you explain this? Why we have two times here? Why we have two times here? Can anyone explain me? See, why it is having two times? The reason is that when you throw the ball upward, okay, it will cross the point A first time while going upward. Okay, and while going upward, it will cross the 15 meter first time. Then its velocity becomes 0. Then it will start coming downward. So when it is coming downward, it will again cross 15 meters. So basically, the ball is crossing. Yes, the ball is crossing 15-meter mark two times. One, that is first second. In 1 second, it is crossing the 15-meter time, and then again coming back, it is crossing the A point. That is after 3 seconds. Okay, so that is why we have two times. Okay, I hope you understand this. No, we cannot directly use p equal to u 2u by g. First of all, that is the total time of the flight. Okay, t equal to 2u by g is the total time of the flight. Fine. Basically, see, if in the question, one more thing you understand here. If in the question, if they don't mention g equal to 9.8 meter per second square, you just need to take g as 10 only. Okay, fine. If they don't mention something about 9.8, then you have to take 10 only. Fine. Again, so again I will repeat here. See, an object is thrown upward with the speed of 20 meter per second. Find out the time at which it crosses 15-meter mark. So let us suppose 15-meter mark is at point A. So when you throw the object upward, okay, initial velocity is plus 20 meter per second. Displacement means you have to find displacement of the ball is 15 meter. Okay, so we can use the equation number second, that s equal to ut minus half gt square. Displacement would be 15 meter, initial velocity is 20, g value we know as 10. Okay, so if you solve this, you'll get some equation like t square minus 4t plus 3. So time will be 1 second and 3 seconds. Means the ball will cross the point A after 1 second and 3 seconds. Okay, so while going upward, it will cross after 1 second. While coming up downward, it will cross after 3 seconds. See, I have not given you any formula. I have just given you the concept. Okay. See, you don't, first of all, your habit of using formula, don't use any formulas. Okay. Don't use any formula. Just concentrate on the concept which I'm telling you. I have not given you any formula. Okay, so don't create a habit of learning the formulas. Okay, I am explaining you the concept. You don't understand the concept. You are sticking to that point, sir. Why it is not u by g? That is the time taken by the particle to reach the maximum height. I told you clearly in that case. I am concentrating on the concept here, that how we are getting this T equal to U by G. Okay. See, if you are saying 20-meter mark, this is only possible if the maximum height is less than 20 meter. Means if what is the maximum height in this case? Tell me. If I ask you what is the maximum height in this question only, let us find the maximum height here. So maximum height will be equal to H max will be equal to uh, v square minus u square by minus 2g. Final velocity should be 0 for maximum height. Initial velocity 20 square divided by minus 2 into 10. Okay, that would be how much? 400 by 20. 400 by 20 is how much? 20 meter. Okay, so 20 meter is the maximum height. Okay, so maximum height is 20 meters here. Okay, so if I ask you, uh, what is the time taken to reach the maximum height? That would be u by g only. Okay, that will be u by g. Simple, because time taken to reach the maximum height. But here I'm not telling you that the maximum height. I'm telling you that you have to find the time when it crosses 15 meter. Means maximum height is 20 meter. Means the ball can go up to 20 meters, but it will cross the 15-meter mark now. So while going upward, it will cross the 15-meter mark. That is in 1 second. Then coming downward also, it will cross the 15-meter mark. That is after 3 seconds. Okay, that is why we are getting 2 times here. Okay, fine. Did you understand this or not? Okay, next problem, write it down. Okay, next problem is that. Okay, the particle is thrown with the initial velocity u. The particle is thrown upward with initial velocity u. Okay, find the find out the speed. Find out the speed. Find out the speed when it is at the when find out the speed when the particle is at half the maximum height. Half the maximum height. Can you find this? Okay, a particle is thrown upward with initial velocity u. Find out the speed when it is at the half the maximum height. Half of the maximum height. U by 2 root 2. Very good. Okay. No, u square by 2. No. Root of u square by 2. Okay. Correct. Means u by root 2. Very good. Okay. Again, we can use the same concept here, that the particle is thrown upward with initial velocity u. Fine. Half of the maximum height. So this is the half. Let us suppose this point A is the half. So this will be h max by 2. This is half of the maximum height. And maximum height, say B point. That is h max. Okay. That is the h max. Okay. Okay. So what is the value of h max? Maximum height. How will you find the maximum height? When can the particle have maximum height? When velocity at point B becomes 0. So can we use the formula v square minus u square by minus 2g, which is 0 square minus u square by minus 2g. Therefore, h max will be equal to u square by 2g. That is the maximum height. Okay. Now, what they are telling you, find the speed when the maximum height, when the particle is at half of the maximum height. Let us suppose at half of the maximum height, velocity is v. Okay, so can we use that formula? h h max by 2, that is half the maximum height, must be equal to v square minus u square by minus 2g. Is this equation correct or not? At we are using the equation of motion between origin and A point. So A point displacement is h max by 2. Velocity at A is v, we have assumed. U is the initial velocity. Okay, minus 2g. Okay, so can we write here as what? H max equal to u square by 2g. So put the value here, you'll get u square by 4g. Okay, that must be equal to v square minus u square by minus 2g. Okay, v square minus u square by minus 2g. H max by 2, correct now? H max is u square by 2g. Okay, correct. So what we have to find? Velocity we have to find. So can we write this as what? U square by 2g minus u square by 4g is equal to v square by 2g. Okay, so if you solve this, you'll get the velocity at A equal to u square by 2. V square is equal to u square by 2. So velocity at A will be equal to u by root 2. The velocity at half of the maximum height will be u by root 2. Okay, fine. I hope you understood this problem. Okay, so you just need to use the concept of equation of motion there. Okay, of gravity, then you'll get the answer properly. Okay, fine. Explain again. See, very easy problem is that we are throwing the object with the initial velocity u. Okay, so you have to find the velocity when the particle is at half of the maximum height. Okay, so first of all we need to find the maximum height. So maximum height will be u square by 2g. Okay. Half of the maximum point, we assume at A point is the half of the maximum point. So if we apply the equation of motion between O and A, we'll get what? H max by 2, which is the displacement of the particle, equal to V square. V square is the velocity at A minus U square by minus 2g. Okay. And H max equal to U square by 2g. So we substitute the value here. Okay. So we get something, this equation V square U square by 4g equal to V square minus U square by minus 2g. If you solve this, you'll get velocity at A equal to u by root 2. Okay. How 4g is coming? See, 4g simple. H max is u square by 2g. You put the value of H max here, it becomes u square by 4g only. Na? Okay. No problem. Speed, no problem. If they're asking you speed also, then there is no problem in this. Okay. Velocity will be same also. Velocity and speed will be same in this case. Okay. No, no, no. In formula, it is minus 10 only. That is why the formula changed from V minus GT. Otherwise, it would have been V equal to U plus AT. But instead of A, we are putting minus G. So it becomes V equal to U minus GT. That is U is the initial velocity, V is the final velocity. Okay. Don't write plus. That's what I'm telling you. If you follow what I'm teaching you, you will not get your problem wrong. But if you use your own concept, definitely you will make some mistakes. Okay. So whatever I'm teaching you, try to follow that thing only. Okay. Next problem. A particle is thrown upward. A particle is thrown upward. Okay, such that such that it achieves the maximum height. Maximum height. Okay. Find out the h. Find h means find height h when speed is half of the maximum. When speed is half of the maximum speed. Half of the maximum speed. Half of the maximum speed. Okay. Okay. A particle is thrown upward such that it achieves the maximum height. Find h means find height when the speed is half of the maximum speed. U square by 4g. U square by 4g. Okay. Okay. See, how will you solve this problem now? First of all, tell me when you are throwing the object upward with some initial velocity u. Now, when you are throwing the object upward, is the speed of the body decreasing while going upward or not? Is that correct or not? When you are throwing the object upward, the speed of the particle will decrease as it is going upward, which means what is the maximum speed of the particle when you are throwing the upward? That is the initial velocity, the maximum speed. Yes, the initial velocity is the maximum speed or not? Yes. So initial velocity is the maximum speed. So maximum speed is u. Okay. Now you have to find the height h where the speed is half the maximum height. Okay. So we have to find that point. Let us suppose at point A the velocity is half the maximum height. Now half the maximum speed will be how much? U by 2. So at point A the speed of the particle is half the maximum speed. Let us suppose that height is h. Let us suppose that height is h. Okay. And the maximum height it can reach is up to point B where velocity becomes 0. Correct now. That is h max. So from O to B is h max. We can write here as O to B is h max and O to A is h. Okay. Fine. And velocity at A will be u by 2 because it is the half of the maximum speed. Okay. So can I find the h max value? Maximum height. Maximum height directly we can say u square by 2g is the maximum height. Okay, fine. Not this height h. Now if I apply the equation of motion between O and A, then I can write here as equation of motion between O and A. Then I can write here as s equal to means h equal to v square minus u square by minus 2g. Is this correct or not? V square minus u square by 2g. V is the velocity at point A, u is the initial velocity minus 2g. Okay, so we can write this as what? U b equal to u by t, u by 2, so u by 2 whole square minus u square by minus 2g. That will come as how much? That will come as I think 3 by 4. So if you square this, it becomes 0 by u square by 4 minus u square by minus 2g. That would be how much? 3u square by 3u square by 8g is h. Okay. Now in terms of maximum height, can we write this as h equal to 3/4 of maximum height? That is the answer. Okay. So the height h would be 3/4 of the maximum height, which means when the height is 3/4 of the maximum height, the velocity of the particle becomes u by 2. U by 2 means half of the maximum speed. Okay. See, again I explain to you that you have to find the h when the speed is half of the maximum speed. So let us suppose that at point A, the particle speed becomes half of the maximum speed, that is u by 2. Okay, and that height is h. The maximum height is OB. Okay, OB when the velocity becomes 0. Okay, so can we find the value of maximum height? So maximum height will be equal to u square by 2g. Okay, u square by 2g. Now, if I apply the equation of motion between O and A, O is the initial point where we are throwing, A is that point where the particle speed is u by 2. Okay, so if I apply the equation of motion between O and A, I can write here as displacement h is equal to velocity at A minus velocity at O whole square divided by minus 2g. Okay, so velocity at A equal to u by 2, so it is u by 2 whole square minus u square by minus 2g. So if you solve, you'll get h equal to 3u square by 8g. We can further modify this expression like h max equal to u square by 2g. So if you put value here, you will get h equal to 3 by 4 of h max. Okay, fine. See, maximum speed you understand like when you're throwing the object upward. The maximum speed is that speed, that point where you're throwing the object. Because as you are throwing the object upward, the velocity will keep on decreasing and become zero at the maximum height. Okay, that is why. Okay, next. Now see, now in all the problem which we have done, we have thrown the object from the ground. In all the problem, we have thrown the object from the ground. Now let us throw the object from some height h. Okay, so right on the next problem. Okay, a particle is dropped. A particle is dropped from height 20 meter. 20 meter. Find out the time. Find out the time when it reaches ground. When it reaches ground. Okay, and you have to find second part in this. Find the velocity. Find the velocity when it reaches ground. It reaches ground. Okay. Now one thing you have to understand here. Whenever they are asking you like this, that the ball is dropped. Whenever they ask you drop, whenever they see in the question drop means you have to assume initial velocity to be zero. Whenever they write as dropped means initial velocity would be zero. Understand? Fine. So whenever they say dropped means initial velocity zero. You have to understand from that language itself. Okay. So initial velocity is zero here. Means u must be equal to 0 meter per second. Correct now? Okay. Time is 2 seconds. Very good. And speed is minus 20 meter per second. Very good. That is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. So now let us draw the figure first of all. Let us suppose this is some height h. Okay. This is the ground. Okay. The height of the height of the building or something is 20 meter. Okay. Now the object is dropped from this height h. Now what I told you, the point where we are throwing the object is taken as reference point. Is that correct or not? So which is the reference point here? This point is known as reference point. Understand? The point where we are throwing the object or dropping the object is taken as reference point. Okay. Now you tell me one thing. Upward is taken as positive. Downward is taken as negative. Correct now? Upward is positive, downward is negative. Fine. Now, okay. Now can you tell me, if I write here as displacement as minus 20, is that correct or not? Can I write displacement as minus 20? Yes. Why minus 20? Because the displacement of the particle is on the negative side. Okay. So therefore I'm writing here as minus 20 meter. I think you understand this or not. See, displacement is basically what? Final position minus initial position. So when it reaches the ground, this is the final position. So final position is minus 20 meter. Minus because it is on the downward side of the reference point. This is minus 20, this is 0. So displacement is minus 20 meter. Fine. Okay. So you have to find the time when it reaches the ground. So we can use the equation number. We can use this equation. S equal to ut minus half gt square, because we have to find the time here. Okay. Now S will be how much? Minus 20. Initial velocity is 0. Minus half into g we can take as 10 into t square. Okay. So you can see that minus minus will get cancelled out. We'll get what? 20 into 2 by 10 is equal to t square. So this will get cancelled out, 0 0. We get t square equal to 4 seconds. Means t is equal to 2 seconds. Means at 2 seconds it will b is equal to 2 seconds. Means at 2 seconds we'll get what? The velocity. The particle will reach the ground. Okay. Now next we have to find the velocity. Now to find the velocity, again we have to use the first equation. Means velocity when it reaches the ground. Okay. Velocity when it reaches the ground. Let us suppose this velocity is v. Okay. So we can use equation number 1. V equal to u minus gt. Okay. So velocity when it reaches the ground is v. Initial velocity is 0. Minus 10 into 2 means minus 20 meter per second. Now why it is minus? Can you explain me why it is minus 20 meter per second? Why it is minus 20 meter per second? The reason is that the direction of the final velocity is negative, downward. Downward we have taken as negative. Yes, very good. The velocity should be minus 20 meter per second when it reaches the ground. Okay, fine. Did you understand this or not? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, one more problem we can do now. See, I will discuss the homework problem. Okay, don't worry about that point. I'm just building with the concept here of motion and gravity. If your concepts are good, you can solve the problem easily only. But you have to develop the concept here. Okay, fine. Next problem. Again, same condition if we take here. Same condition we take here. That a particle. Next problem is that a particle. Now a particle is thrown upward. Particle is thrown upward. A particle is thrown upward with initial velocity. With initial velocity. What initial velocity we should take? Let us suppose we take here as okay. Let us take some value here. Okay, say 10 meter per second. Okay, maybe I've taken some value. Maybe the answer may not be in exact order. Okay, a particle is thrown upward with initial velocity u, that is 10 meter per second, from from a from height 20 meter. Okay, now again you have to find the both the things. Find the time. Find the time when it reaches ground. Second part, velocity when it reaches ground. Okay, answer may not be exactly correct. Means it may be in some root or something. Okay, but data I have taken like this only. Okay, now here again, first of all, we have to draw the figure here. Okay, so let us draw the figure here. This is the ground. Okay, this is height 20 meter. Now in this case, we are throwing the object upward with 10 meter per second. Okay, so a ball is thrown upward with 10 meter per second. You have to find the time when it reaches the ground. Okay, now here u is what? U is positive or negative? Upward means positive, correct now? Yes, u is u is plus 10 meter per second because we are throwing the object upward. Displacement here plus or minus. Ha, see, here you can say, sir, here you can say, sir, the object is moving upward, then downward. So distance s will be more than 20. Is that correct or not? Is this correct? That we are throwing the upward, so the object will travel some height h, then it will again come back. It should be 20 plus h. Is that correct? I'm asking you, is that correct or not? Yes, it is the displacement, not distance traveled. It is not correct. That is why I'm telling you, when I was explaining you the equation of motion, I told you S is the displacement of the particle. It is not the distance covered. Okay. It is not the distance covered here. Fine. Which means S will be here minus 20 only. Did you get this point or not? Even though the particle has traveled to the maximum height and then again come back to the ground, still the S will be minus 20 only. The reason is that displacement of the particle. Why displacement? See, okay, again you have to understand here. Let us suppose we have thrown the object from point A. Okay, it goes upward, it comes downward and reaches point B. Correct now? So what is displacement? Tell me. Displacement is the final position minus initial position. So if I write S, what is the final position of the object? Minus 20 because it is below the reference point. Okay, so minus 20 minus 0, which is minus 20 meters. Correct now? So here S is the displacement, not the distance here. Okay. So displacement would be minus 20. Okay. So can we use the equation of motion here? That S equal to ut minus half gt square. Now S will be what? Minus 20. Initial velocity u is 10. So 10t minus half into 10 into t square. Which means what? It would be minus 20 equal to 10t minus 5t square. Okay, minus 5t square. Okay, fine. So if you solve this, you're getting something like 5 can be cancelled out from all the side. We get t square minus 2t minus 4 equal to 0. Okay, so t square minus 2t minus 4 equal to 0. So answer will be yes, time would be equal to 1 plus root 5 seconds. 1 plus root 5. Okay, so 1 plus root 5 is approximately how much? 3.23 seconds. Okay, that is the answer. Yes, it is 1 plus root 5. It will come in a rational number 1 plus root 5. Okay, see again I'm telling you the S will be minus 20 here because S is the displacement of the object, not the distance covered. Even if you are throwing the object upward, the displacement remains same as minus 20 only. Okay, fine. So it is minus 20 here. Okay, so time taken is 3.23 seconds. Okay, now next is the velocity. Can you find the velocity now? Yes, velocity will be equal to v equal to u minus gt. Okay, u is 10, g is minus 10 into time taken is how much? Time taken we found as 3.23 seconds. Okay, so it should be what? 3.23 seconds. Okay, that will come as how much? 32.3 minus 10 means 22.3 minus 22.3 meter per second is the velocity. Okay, minus 22.3 meter per second is the velocity. Okay, fine. I hope you understood the concept here. Okay, I think you can do all the problems of this type. Okay, so here only two things you have to make it. You have to consider. First thing you have to see the point where you are throwing the object. That point is taken as reference point. Upward will be taken as positive. Downward will be taken as negative. That is the first point, basic point. Second basic point is that displacement. Here, S is the displacement of the object. It is not the distance covered by the object. It is the displacement here. Okay, fine, understood. So this was the way we have discussed now. See, for the speed, now you are telling me about the speed. Speed is the, if I take the magnitude of the velocity, it will be speed, which means in the previous problem, what is the speed of the particle? That would be 22.3. Okay, the speed would be 22.3 in that case. Fine. Yes, the magnitude of the final velocity is speed. So if the final velocity is minus 22.3, you just need to take the magnitude. So remove minus there. You will get 22.3. Yes, yes, always in the case, always case. And always the velocity would be magnitude of the, I mean speed would be magnitude of the velocity. Okay. Homework will be sent to you from Learnity. Learnity, I have sent you the homework. Fine. Here you will get the homework. Okay. Now let us discuss the homework problem of Friday. Okay. I think we can discuss. See, uh, this Monday we can discuss now. One or two questions we can discuss now. Okay, fine. This is the Monday homework. Okay, so we can discuss at least one question here. This question we can discuss. This one, question number 4 we can do. That is easy one. We can do fourth question. Okay, fine. So fourth question is what? A stone is dropped from a top of a tower, touches the ground in 4 seconds. What is the height of the tower? Can you get the answer for this? Okay, weekend test portion I'm telling you again that it is the same motion in a straight line. Okay, fine. Question number 4 of yesterday homework. A stone is dropped from the top of a tower, touches the ground in 4 seconds. What is the height of the tower? Tell me. Okay, a stone is dropped. A stone is dropped from top of a tower. Okay, and it touches the ground in 4 seconds. Okay, let us suppose height is h. The height is h. It touches the ground in 4 seconds. Okay, it reaches the ground in 4 seconds. Okay, so simple we can use the equation of motion that it drop means initial velocity should be zero. The stone is dropped now, so initial velocity should be zero. Okay, so we can use the second equation. Second equation means s equal to ut minus half gt square. Okay, what is s here? Minus h. Initial velocity 0 minus half into g. G is 10. Time taken is 2 square. 2 square means 4 square means 4 square. Okay, it should be what? H equal to half into 10 into 16. That will come as 5 into 8 into 10, 80 meter. So 80 meter is the height here. Okay, why h is negative? Because the point where we are throwing the object is taken as reference point. This is the reference point. So below is taken as negative, upward is taken as negative, positive. So if h is H is below the reference point, so H would be minus H. Okay, fine. So answer is 80 meter. So question number 4 we have discussed now. Remaining question tomorrow I'll discuss. Okay, fine. Tomorrow I'll discuss Friday homework as well as Monday homework. Tuesday homework is the NCRT questions only. Fine. Tomorrow we'll discuss Friday questions. Okay, fine. Then we'll start the graphs. Yes, whenever the particle is saying drop means initial velocity should be 0. U is equal to 0. Okay. If U is not given, then also you have to understand U is 0. Okay. So thank you all.